Basketball is back, and BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. And as your continued source for all sports wager information, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's NFL, NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your rewards. It's BetOnline, where the game starts. Tell them the Noisemaker sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in a bag of a can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
You're now listening to BLEAV in the ACC with Heisman Trophy winner and Florida State legend, Mr. Charlie Ward, Wave 3 TV, and Fern Creek Hall of Famer, Kendrick Haskins, and Mr. Talking Noise himself, and of course Mama Noise's man, Lloyd Smith. And now, it's time for BLEAV in the ACC.
We have a jam-packed show, a lot to discuss today. We will not delay in any possible way. That is Kendrick Haskins over there. Is that it right there? That's it. Kendrick Haskins right there, looking amazing and all Hall of Fame-y like. And then there's the man that needs no introduction, Charlie Ward. Are you fresh off the documentary or the documentary is coming? I don't remember. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank right now. But it's coming, right?
Yes, Monday.
Oh, Monday. You're going to see Charlie Ward in all of his ACC glory. So we'll have more information about that here at the end of the show. But no humble flex. That's just our guy, Charlie Ward. Oh, here's a little bit of a humble flex. You muted. There you go. Kendrick is muted. He doesn't know. He's like saying stuff, and then nothing is,
Maybe he's supposed to be muted because he
was definitely giving you the business right now.
Yeah, I
I don't know
know.
why he's muted. You're muted, bro. Nothing is coming out. Nothing.
Look at the Lord, because he knew he was trying to do a humble flex, and they need a humble
Did
flex.
you just say, "Look at the Lord"? Did you just give credit to the Lord for that mute?
Yes, because he was doing a humble flex with there's no humble flex.
He was absolutely trying to humble flex you. Now,
Exactly.
I'll co-sign that one. He was going to definitely humble flex you.
Yes.
Well, while he is straightening out his, there he is. Here he is. He's back now. There you go.
I didn't do anything. I just went out and came back in. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes that's all you need to do. Sometimes that's all you need to do, brother. That's all you need to do.
Right when I went out, I heard Charlie say, "Look at the Lord."
He definitely gave credit to the Lord. He definitely gave credit to the Lord.
And all I said was that he's not getting a humble flex.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you
and
go.
he looked nervous, like he was gonna get one.
He was nervous. I can see the nerves.
I was expecting it. I mean, when you expect something, there's really no need to be nervous about it.
Well, listen, expectations are the key to a lot of today's show, and we're gonna start with a developing story. The rumor mill is running amok, and there are several sources that are verifying this, but that Deion Sanders is going to make a coaching decision about his future, possibly Sunday. After, I guess, Saturday is the game, the SWAC championship, I guess, and then right after that, he'll decide what he wants to do. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go to Cincinnati, which I think they've made an offer? Colorado has made an offer. South Florida, there may be an other out there somewhere. Or quite honestly, he could just stay. He may just stay, which is what I would like to see him do personally. But real quick, you guys, we love Deion here. What would you guys like to see him do on this one?
Well, I was just having this conversation with someone else last night. I personally would like to see him stay at Jackson State. I think that's where he is a good fit right now. And the opportunities that's provided for him could be stepping stones for him to be a part of the Power Five or, Group of Five or whatever it may be, which is his ultimate goal, I'm sure, in the end. But I just think there's still unfinished business at Jackson State. And he's, started something great. And if he leaves right now, I don't know where Jackson State will go or be.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's his issue, but he's made it his primary baby in a sense to get it to a certain point. And I'm not sure if he's got it to that point yet. Even though I know the financial piece is not a huge issue for him, but opportunity for him. But, if he leaves, he's taking the quarterback, he's taking the cornerback.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to go with him.
Yeah, so, it's just that whole I just built this dynasty in a sense, and now I'm getting ready to tear it down.
Yeah, and then you look at that list of schools, it feels like if he holds out another year, he could maybe get just a better list of schools. I mean, because only one of those schools is in a Power Five conference.
Right.
And so, I mean, just
and that's Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado. And they
but since he's going, though, aren't they going to? I thought they were going. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I thought
they may
was
be
going
to the Big 12. Maybe
that's kind of what I thought too. I could be wrong.
They're going to the Big 12.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So Cincinnati actually would be a good fit for him. I mean, he played for the Reds, and he's familiar with the area. He's got a fertile recruiting ground with being in the state of Ohio. So that would be a good fit for him. But I'm like Charles. I'd like to see him stay at least another year. But opportunities come, and so with Cincinnati moving to the Big 12, that's not a bad landing spot. Colorado's beautiful, but I don't know about being able to build.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
No.
I don't know. And it could be somebody else out there too. I mean, I can see Georgia Tech making a play for him, even though that's a little bit tricky of a place to recruit for him because of his academic standards. But I think if those are the choices, if I say which one of those schools he's going to stay, is he going to go to outside of staying at Jackson State, Cincinnati seems to me to make the most sense.
I want to co-sign with both of what you said is that I think if there's a choice to be made, I can see Cincinnati. I can actually see South Florida in the sense that you're recruiting out of your own backyard, and it makes sense to do that as well, and they got some resources there. However, I am also going to co-sign what you said, Charlie. I think the mission is not done. and I'll even take it a step further. Unless you're handing it off to someone of equal persona, I think you cripple Jackson State. It makes it really, really hard for Jackson State to move forward because they're hedging their future on you being there and everything that you're doing. But nobody's going to keep giving money. No, with all due respect to Jackson State, nobody's going to keep giving money to Jackson State if he's not there or if someone of equal persona is not there. So if you're handing it off to, say, a Ray Lewis or an Ed Reed or someone with an equal persona or personality, then okay, that makes sense because now it's you're not leaving them, destitute or whatever. But if you don't do that, I think you make that situation far worse than it was before you found it.
I don't think he's gonna leave them high and dry. I just don't see that Indiana. If he does leave, I think he's gonna set them up.
But how do you not do that? You can't hand it over to one of the coaches that are on staff now.
I'm not saying necessarily coaching wise, but I'm talking about thinking financially as far as some of the money that's been flowing into the school. I think he would probably try to make adjustments so that they're still getting that money.
Well, I would agree with that, but I still think from a recruiting perspective, I don't know how they can't. What other reason would you have to go to Mississippi other than Deion Sanders? I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that's an honest statement, right? Mississippi is not
his presence there at Jackson State is so much more than football. That football is like second or third rung on that ladder.
Exactly, and while out here they do serve the best pig ears sandwiches at Big Apple Inn, that ain't a reason for me to leave my house and go to Mississippi and live for 4 years, right? So, especially if I'm 18 years old. Matter of fact, I'm probably not even eating pig ear sandwiches if I'm 18 years old, if I'm being completely honest. But so I don't know.
I eat pig ear sandwiches at 47.
I'm not eating pig ear sandwiches today. So, but I just think he makes it really, really hard if he doesn't. I think he makes it really, really hard. So anyway, that's our, I guess, quick assessment. Charlie, you got any final thoughts on that one before we?
We can assess, and I just hope he does what's best for him and his family. And
sure.
And what I mean by his family is not just his immediate family, but the people that he's brought into the fold as well. And I'm sure they'll all be taken care of when it's all said and done. HBCUs have definitely been brought to the forefront since he's kind of been in that mix along with the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah.
Joining forces to help the HBCUs get to the next level. And so hopefully if he moves on to another opportunity, I won't say greater pastures, but to another opportunity, right. Someone can come in and continue to build what he started.
Amen and amen, as they say. All right. The other developing story or that lit up our personal group chat was my rage as to the unfolding Tuesday night of listen, you can shake your head all you want, Kendrick.
I don't understand the rage.
Very upset about this.
Happen.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Kendrick Haskins. But the current college football playoffs, we are at the end of the college football season, and this is championship week. And so the final top four was revealed before the actual top four is revealed. And to no surprise, I don't think the top four was, other than maybe the order, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, all undefeated. And then, of course, USC joined them in that fourth spot after Ohio State lost to Michigan. Ohio State, however, fell to that fifth spot. And guess who stumbled on into the sixth spot? Alabama. And why does that anger me? Because they should not be in that sixth spot. Tennessee, who's in the seventh spot, should be in that sixth spot.
No team that lost 63 to whatever it was to South Carolina should be.
It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with it.
It shouldn't, though. But it shouldn't, though. It shouldn't. Tennessee beat Alabama on the field.
I agree.
Tennessee beat LSU, who's going to play Georgia on the field.
But like I said, once we get past the top 4, who cares? Alabama's not going to get into the playoffs. So why even waste that energy? They're not going to get there. I can see you being worried about TCU. I do feel like if they lose, they'll drop out of it. But I mean, even if that happens, Ohio State's going to move into that spot. I mean, so much has to happen for Alabama to move into the playoffs. It's not happening. So there's no use to get mad about it.
And I don't think it will happen either. But boy, they're sure trying to make it happen. Go ahead, Charlie.
I still have an issue with even TCU. So I'm just curious because we sit here and talk about TCU losing and they drop out. What about if Michigan and Georgia lose? Will they drop out?
Well, we know Georgia's not going to drop out.
Why? They will have one loss.
I think the only way Georgia or Michigan
lost in the conference championship game, though. Okay. And they're in. They're in the toughest. They're in by far the toughest conference.
So that is my point with TCU. If they didn't have a championship game, they would be 12-0.
Right.
And if they lose in the championship game to a team that they've already beaten, mind you, that they played in the regular season because they played everyone during the season.
Right.
Why? I think they still should be in because they went 12-0 in the championship game. And if it's a close loss, which more than likely it will be because that's just the way TCU plays.
Right.
Or close win. I mean, that's the way they've been playing all year.
Right.
You know, I still think they should have an opportunity.
Well, Charlie, I'm going to use some of your own way of thinking. You got to go out there and take care of business. Take care of business and none of this matters.
And that's the reality. Yeah, that's the reality.
I agree 100%, but those teams that's behind them, they're not taking care of their business. They didn't take care of their business. So they're not even getting an opportunity to have another opportunity to lose a game. Is my point. So
I can hear that. And as much as I like just messing with Lloyd because he uses so much energy. Alabama is so irrelevant right now. I do think there is something to the fact that the from the jump back, even when it was the BCS, they were saying you have to play for your conference. If you don't play for your conference championship, and they put so much on the conference championship. Well, all 4 of these teams are playing in their conference championships, and the very next team is not. It would be different because I would say it would be different if Michigan and Ohio State were playing for the conference championship this week,
right?
And then Ohio State beat Michigan. Then I can see it, but them having to play that extra game should not drop them out of it. I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
but I also know how reality is. And so if TCU loses, they're going to drop out of there and Ohio State's going to move in there.
I think
but that's how it is.
I think what could be interesting. What could be interesting is that how these games unfold. So if Georgia, Michigan, TCU, let's say one of them loses, but it's like a fluky field goal or a fluky whatever.
I'm really sure I'm with both of you guys. I think we're all in agreement. All 4 of these teams should get in.
They should. To me, this should be your Final Four. Yeah. Now, the only thing you could make a case for is if USC does not avenge the loss to Utah. Can you really justify them being into that 4th spot? Probably not.
I agree.
Because now you got a 2-loss team.
Yeah, 2 losses.
Right.
Kick you out if you got a 1-loss team.
Yeah, that's where Ohio State would slide in. Yeah.
Right. And Ohio State is the only team out there who only lost to somebody in the playoffs. So that makes sense to me. I
wouldn't even make the case because Purdue is playing with a backup quarterback that if they beat Michigan, I can make it. But even then, how do you slide Ohio State ahead of Michigan? So that's why I think Michigan's in regardless. Because how can you put Ohio State ahead of Michigan when Michigan blew them out in Columbus 2 weeks ago?
In Columbus, yeah.
So that's why Michigan is in. you use the one-loss formula, then Georgia should be in regardless, even if they lose. So only teams that should have any USC really should be the only team that has anything to worry about.
And by the way, should be worried. They are not the favorite in this game, according to Vegas. Because Utah beat them already, and the Vegas says Utah is going to beat them again. So I don't know if I believe that, but
I don't believe that. The way that the quarterback's the Heisman Trophy winner right now. The way he's playing, I don't see them losing.
I that's how I feel. But Vegas is interesting. They always keep it interesting. So when we come back on next week, who will the Final Four teams be? I don't think it looks any different. I think they're going to all figure it out.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree.
I worry about TCU because they play so many close games.
TCU makes me nervous. TCU makes me nervous. I won't lie to you about that. They make me nervous, man.
I just hope they don't get kicked out because they did have a great season. I
agree.
They won all the close games. They beat some teams on the road. Beat ranked teams. I mean, they had the gamut. For like 4 weeks straight. 4 teams that were ranked at that time.
Yeah, and to be honest, the Big 12 was as good this year as it's been in a long time.
Big 12 turned out to be much better than it was.
They actually played defense this year.
Yeah, it's going to be much better. Now we are an ACC show, so I saved the best part of this conversation for last before we get to our results and picks and all that stuff. But notice this year.
So there's a better part and it concerns the ACC.
well, not better. I wouldn't say better. I'll just say it's the part that we probably got to bring up because it's unique. Because the glowing omission this year is that there is no ACC team, and more specifically, Clemson is not only out but all the way out. There is nothing they can do this weekend that would put them anywhere near a playoff. Are you surprised at that? I didn't think they would make the playoff at the beginning of the year. However, I didn't know that their end would be as substantial as it has been. I thought DJ would have made more stride, and even the year kind of revealed that he had made more stride than at the beginning of the year anyway. It looked like he had made more stride than he actually made. But as the years unfolded, man, it has not been good at all.
Charlie, I think we just witnessed an upset because he said DJ and didn't say his last.
I was gonna say Uyagalele, but I decided not to. No, it's not a humble flags. How is that? Charlie?
I don't know.
How is that?
And that was a humble flex.
I don't know how that's a humble flex though. I don't understand.
Because you've been flexing that you've been knowing how to say his last name for 2 years.
Well, they're gonna kick him out. They're gonna kick him out here soon, so I won't have to worry about it. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Well, let me ask this question real quick, and I know next week we're gonna do our Believe in the ACC Awards football, but I do want to just throw this out. Are we surprised? Number one, at Clemson, and then number two, that the growth of the quarterbacks that had been there was not as great as you thought it would be this year. Like, I thought these guys would have taken you could go all the way down the line. I thought all these guys would have taken a step forward, and that is not what happened this year.
Yeah. Well, of course, the best quarterback hails from where? There you go. Seminoles, baby. George Travis.
Wait. Not Drake May?
I don't know.
I'm
just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I agree.
He was good.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I'm throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
He was good too.
He was good. He was very good. Those are the only two though. Yeah, that was consistent week in and week out that you could count on.
I'm just going with a hot quarterback.
He's hot. He's hot. Shout out to Jordan. He's fired.
5 in a row. No blemishes at the end after the 3 losses. He put it on his shoulders. But yes, I agree. Like we were talking about the quarterbacks and how they could play a big part and how they were going to elevate their team. And that was the worst. I mean, they didn't elevate. They brought the team down.
They were the worst elements. Most of them were the worst elements of their team.
Every one of them got hurt except for DJ. If you think about it, all the quarterbacks that we hyped up at the beginning of the year got hurt at some point in the season.
Yeah, Leary, Lee, Schrader.
Mm-hmm. But we didn't even hype him.
Jurich, he got hurt. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Like it just fell all the way apart.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised by that. But we'll definitely have more time to talk about all of that next week. But it was I'm shocked that it turned out the way it did. And I'm shocked to see a playoff that looks like we'll have no Clemson and no Alabama. And possibly no Ohio State for the first time in the last 20 years.
That is good though.
That is great. That is great.
I mean,
not for the TV show, but for the fans.
Yeah,
for the TV show, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for a TV show because you're gonna have some different teams, different audiences,
and you're gonna have USC most likely. I mean, the second
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just to be able to have some, and the Pac-12. The Pac-12, the Pac-12 is going to have another representative. Out there.
Does the Pac-12 have a representative, or the Big Ten? Technically, USC
it's still the Pac-12. It's still the Pac-12.
I'm just saying, technically USC is leaving.
But like you look at it though, TV market wise, I mean, you're gonna have if everything hangs together, you're gonna basically have the Atlanta market with Georgia.
Yep.
You're gonna have basically the Detroit market with Michigan.
Right.
You're gonna have LA with USC. You're gonna have Dallas with TCU. So you've got some big city markets. That's not a bad look. That's not a bad look for a TV show. Tuscaloosa and Clemson, Clemson, South Carolina. I mean, Clemson,
right.
Clemson's pretty much the Atlanta market too. But I mean, it's a stretch.
It's a stretch.
It just gives us a more wide range as well.
I agree.
Across the country.
I agree. Well, we'll go through these quickly. While we were away, we saw Clemson do exactly what they were supposed to do against Miami. Florida State did the same thing against Louisiana. Liberty, with their old coach, lost to Virginia Tech.
On that guy.
We'll get to that in a minute. I want to talk about that as well because that was an interesting hire. I'm a little,
but fitting if you consider the school.
It is fitting. I just thought they had their eyes pointed in different directions, and that kind of was shocking to say.
Auburn's gonna Auburn.
Pitt. Who knew? Pitt got in there.
We felt like none of us were very confident in that pick in that Duke Pitt game.
We weren't because Pitt had been playing better. They had been playing better. Notre Dame did what they did. Louisville beat NC State, which is what we all predicted, which we all thought moved them into the top 25 of the college football playoff. Now, this one we didn't see coming. Georgia Tech and North Carolina, nobody saw that one coming. I don't know what Georgia Tech is an enigma. My God, what a season they've had. They are.
Can you imagine being a fan of that team?
They should call themselves the Georgia Tech Gumps because you never know what you're going to get. And then, of course,
Syracuse. They are who we thought they were.
But I will say this. I do think Dino saved his job. I do think he will not be fired. I think they're bowl eligible. They are bowl eligible. So I think
did they win any games after they won 6 in a row?
I think they won 1, maybe 2. It wasn't great, though. Let's just say that. It wasn't great. They definitely won. I think they won 2, which is the one we're about to head to as we get to week 13. Now, this surprised me tremendously, and mainly because I'm not a big Spencer Rattler guy, and I didn't see him playing that well in this game, but he looked outstanding in that game.
you talk about hot quarterbacks. I mean, he might be the hottest quarterback in the country right now.
And by the way, there is a rumor, a rumor that is gaining momentum that he is going to transfer again.
No.
That is a rumor that's out there right now that he may transfer again.
He still got eligibility?
I think he's got 1 year. I think he's got 1 year left.
COVID year? Is that what
Yeah. I don't understand it. Right, I don't understand it, but that's the rumor. It's just, again, rumors are what they are, but that is a rumor.
I hope that's not true.
I hope it is not true as well.
Unless they're out.
Yeah, they may be pushing him out. I don't know. It may be as simple as that, but it's a rumor out there. So NC State, North Carolina, in double overtime, North Carolina limping into the ACC championship game. Not a good look for them right now to lose that one to a wounded animal such as NC State, but they did.
NC State played with the scout team quarterback.
Right. They came in limping into that game, and like Rocky in Rocky 2 somehow found the punches to finish that game. It was, listen. So it makes you wonder what's going to happen this weekend, because while it looks like it looks like North Carolina is going to get ran out the building, that may or may not be true, because both of these teams are coming in not playing their best football. Louisville, I mean, what can you say? You thought they were, and that was a strange game, because there was a moment when Malik came in and drove him down the field. You're like, okay, because Kentucky didn't play great, but
no, they didn't. They did not play well at all.
They didn't play great at all.
U of L ran the ball all over their defense, and I say it and I'll stick to it, that game turned because U of L went right down the field, running all the way down the field, and scored just before a half. They get the kickoff, and on first down, they drop back the pass. Malik gets sacked, and the game changed from that point on. They went 3 and out, punted.
Yep.
Kentucky got a field goal. Next possession, Malik throws an interception. Kentucky gets a touchdown, and that's the ball game.
Yeah.
And Malik got hurt on that play. And so, I mean, going into that game without a healthy Malik, put him behind the 8 ball in the first place. But they played well. I mean, they were beat up. I mean, their third string running back ran for over 100 yards on Kentucky's defense.
Right.
But the score honestly was a little bit close because Kentucky just ran the ball the whole second half. I think Levis may have thrown 2 or 3 passes the whole second half, so the score could have been worse. But
that's mainly because he just wasn't very good.
They didn't have to because Chris.
But they needed to be right. Shout out to Mel Kiper for having just a spot-on assessment of Will Levis being the number 1.
He officially declared for the draft, by the way.
For Will Levis?
Yeah. Which I had to declare. I'm like,
when you got guys like Mel Kiper singing your praises, I guess you go ahead and do it. But
it's so weird because I keep forgetting about the COVID year because he's a senior anyway. So why is he need to declare?
Right, there's nothing to declare. You have no other option. But I'll just give a warning now to all 32 teams. If you take that kid first in the draft, you're going to be drafted for a quarterback in 2 years. Okay. Florida State did Florida State type things and took the state championship this past weekend. Much to the excitement and joy of one Charlie Ward.
I was surprised by Florida State's defense in that game.
Why?
Because I didn't expect them to give up 38 points to Florida.
Well, Florida played well. I mean, they ran the ball well.
Yeah.
For sure. There was some questionable holding calls that we heard about that weren't called. But the deciding factor was that stretch where we were able to get a 14-point lead. I think it was 38-24. We were able to stretch the lead out, and that bought us enough cushion and time to be able to, once they made their comeback, we had the ball last, and then it came down to, this is what normally happens when you have a balanced team. When the offense is going well, sometimes defense when the offense may not be going well, the defense has to step up, and vice versa. And so, as I said on many occasions, as a quarterback, I would love to have the football to be able to drive the team down to for the winning score. And if you're on defense, you want the same type of smoke.
Right.
So they took on the challenge, and they were able to come up with the stop that we needed. I was praising Coach Fuller for that fourth down call. Instead of sitting back 4th and 12, he heated them up and got the pressure he needed to get that throwaway. So I was excited, of course, about the win, and so is the whole state of Florida, because yeah, those that like Florida State.
I don't think there was much excitement in Dade County. I can promise.
Right. Or Gainesville.
But the rest of the state probably was on.
I got a bit of breaking news now that Charlie said they want the smoke. My favorite name in college football is entering the transfer portal. Cavassier Smoke.
Yes. He's taking his Cavassier somewhere else.
Yes. I mean, he's taking, basically, he was a senior. He's just taking his COVID year somewhere else. But Cavassier Smoke, my favorite name, and a great kid. If you ever get to talk to him, he's a hilarious kid. His name fits him because he's funny like that. He laughs at the name. So best of luck to him. Best wishes to him wherever he lands.
Awesome.
He's at Kentucky?
Yeah. He's leaving Kentucky. Georgia did Georgia things and brought Georgia Tech back to reality. So that happened. Syracuse, I mean, the great fixer, the great equalizer, the great healer to any problems you may have as an organization is Boston College. So
they're saying Boston College would be much better next year. They were young this year.
I can't see how they'll be better without Zay Flowers.
I was gonna say you lift Zay Flowers out of the. I don't know how that gets better, but Duke in the Battle of the Minds beat Wake Forest and finished off Sam Hartman's career.
Sam Hartman is not playing next year.
Isn't he a senior? He's been there like 1,000 years.
He might have a COVID year.
Oh my goodness, Sam, just let it go, bro.
I can't keep up anymore because it's guys playing college football that are 28 years old and got mortgages.
It's right. Sam's been there forever. It might be time. It might be time. And then again, another great equalizer and fixer is Miami. Miami has helped a lot of teams. And once again, the U, who was announced early to be back, has backed all the way up and done absolutely nothing this year. So I keep telling people around here, Mario Cristobal, just like Scott Satterfield and Kenny Payne, have all the job security in the world because their schools can't afford to fire them because they're paying too many other people to not coach. Right. They're in good shape right now, for sure. For sure. So with all that being said, Charlie went 9-7. Huh?
I said, and they're in their first years.
And they're in their first year. So you're going to give them a little grace. Yeah. A little grace. They have slightly more than Nathaniel Hackett grace. So Charlie Ward went 9-7 over the 2 weeks. Kendrick and I went both 8-8, which puts us in a very, very tight race as we close the season off.
Well, the tight race is between you and I. Charlie's already won. There's one game left.
No, because this is, like I announced earlier, championship week. So these final picks will decide.
we picking more than this the ACC?
Yes, we're picking more than this. It's the ACC.
See, you know what, Charlie? You know what's happening here?
What is happening?
He's trying to angle himself to try to make a comeback. Ordinarily, we'd be done.
I'm literally tied with you.
Charlie winning.
Okay, so what happens? Wait a minute. So what happens if you win?
I can't win.
How do you not win if you pick these out right?
I pick these. I mean, of course I'll graciously accept a win, but I'll be humble flex. But
okay, I'll tell you what.
I'm perfectly fine with Charlie. That Charlie's won it though.
Okay,
let the record show that I said that.
Let's officially crown Charlie Ward the regular season champion. How about that? Is that fair? Okay, there you go. All right. So now we'll do the championship week and see who wins the whole thing. Okay.
So now there's a playoff, Charlie.
There's a playoff.
A regular season champion.
It's a regular season champ. There you go. Much like the NCAA tournament basketball, there's a regular season champion and a real winner. So there you go.
You can take the C out of this BCS championship.
Exactly. Okay, so these are our championship week predictions. A lot of great games this week. Interesting games this week. So we'll start off with UCF and Tulane. UCF has had a great season.
Is that on the neutral field or are they playing?
I think they play at home field.
Okay.
The top team.
Okay, so Tulane gets the nod on the thing. I just like UCF. UCF.
I would like UCF if they were at home.
Yes.
They're very tough at home. I think I'm going with Tulane on this one though.
All right.
I'm going with Tulane as well.
All right.
So, Lloyd, you going with UCF?
I'm going with UCF. So here I'm getting my games back already. In the Sun Belt, Coastal Carolina is going to take on Troy. Troy's been tough, man.
I don't know who's at home.
Troy, I think, is at home.
Troy.
Because Coastal Carolina, is their quarterback back yet? I know he was hurt.
I do not know that, Charlie. You asked me to go in depth on that one. I'm not really.
It doesn't really matter, but I'm still going with Troy. I think the quarterback was hurt. He's hurt.
Wow. Okay.
Point.
What about the Mountain West, Fresno State and Boise State? This kind of a rivalry game, isn't it?
I think subtly the Mountain West, everybody's a rival.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think
I win on that blue field. How do you win on that blue field?
I think I go with Boise.
Is it snowing?
It's Idaho in December. It's always a chance.
I was gonna say if it's not snowing, it's gonna be freezing cold. So
right.
That probably gives Boise the advantage. Are you going with Boise, Charlie?
I'm gonna go with Fresno State.
Oh, Charlie, mixing it up.
I have no clue who they have on their team.
But see, that's what makes this fun. We don't know. All right.
And it's Boise. It's not Boise. It's Boise. They will correct you if you go to Boise, Idaho.
I don't want any problems with the Boise people. So there you go.
Boise's a cool little town, I'm telling you.
Is it? All right.
I love it when we went there.
Shout out to San Antonio, first and foremost. How about building a program literally from nothing into now you're in the champ? And that's less than a decade, right? That they're now in the championship game of Conference USA. That's impressive.
And I'm going with the Road Runners.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with them as well. The quarterback is pretty good. And one of my former coaches, his son plays on that team as well. So I'm
very nice.
I'm going to Homer pick.
Well, I will ride in the car with you guys on that one. Toledo and Ohio, which just seems like you're just saying Toledo, Ohio, but okay. I have no idea. This is one of those.
You can't even pick the home team in that because don't they play in Detroit?
Yeah, I have no idea on this one.
What's the records between the two?
Great question. The records for Toledo and Ohio. You would ask me that. You guys are asking me some hard questions this morning. Like records and stuff. Come on, computer, work with me here. Okay, the MAC, that's the MAC, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the MAC has produced two teams that are, well, Jesus.
It sounds like 6-6 versus 6-6 when you say.
Well, almost. It's like 9-3 for Ohio and 7-5 for Toledo.
I'm going Ohio.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio. That's all I need to know.
I was gonna say this isn't good. Okay, all right. One that's really interesting to me, the SWAC championship, Southern and Jackson State.
For who? Which one?
Huh?
Which one is SWAC? Which team is SWAC?
Well, who is SWAC if Deion ain't SWAC? See what I did there? According to Deion, that's what Deion says all the time.
All of that stuff's just goofy.
Who's SWAC if I ain't SWAC? That's what Deion said.
I'm going with Jackson State.
Yeah.
I think you gotta go with Jackson State, don't you?
They beat them pretty handily the first time, so I'll go with Jackson State.
I'm gonna say, what has changed to make them think that they're gonna win this game? I don't think there's anything.
And Southern is not the best. Is not the second best team in the SWAC.
I don't think they are.
I think they won their side.
Yeah, right. They won their side, but they're not the second best team. I agree with you.
The second best team is FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Who, by the way, did not get an invitation to the 1AA playoffs, which is ridiculous.
It very much is, because there are several teams that were 7-4.
Right.
That got in.
So I don't understand how they didn't get into the playoffs, but okay, that's a whole other conversation.
And then someone put up a graph of the attendance to all of the games.
Oh, then that might be how they didn't get in.
No,
that's ridiculous.
They didn't. No, the games, the playoff games that it just had, the largest crowd was like 13,000 people.
Oh wow!
And if FAMU hosts a playoff game,
people are going.
Right. Yeah, the game's gonna be packed.
If nothing more than just to see the 100.
So they don't understand the experience that, that's a big deal, and they're going to get a big crowd.
A huge crowd. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Okay, well, now we get into some of the meatier stuff here. Big 12.
Tennessee State?
Huh?
Is this Kentucky State versus Tennessee State?
Lord, how did that happen? How did that happen? Jeez.
I was looking at that the whole time.
Production, pull it together. Jeez. Okay, here we go. This is what happens when you do production at 6:00 in the morning. Can TCU pull it off? That's really the question we're talking about here. Can TCU pull this off? This is in Dallas, right?
They've been pulling off wins all year. I don't see this being any different, even though K-State is a very good team as well. This is a neutral field, game. So it should be much better, because I think TCU beat K-State on the road.
Right.
Pretty good too, didn't they? I think
they had to come back and win. I think they were down like 18 and then they came back and won or something like that. But this is essentially a home game for TCU, though Kansas is not that far from Dallas, but it's essentially a home game for TCU.
Deuce Vaughn is a home game for him.
Yeah. I gotta believe TCU is gonna win this. I have to. I surely they're not gonna go and spit the bit in the biggest game in TCU's history, right? This is it. This is the one they've been waiting for.
So when they played the first time, TCU won 38-28.
Right. So I gotta believe TCU is gonna pull this off.
Yeah, they should, but you never know in these playoff championship games how things can turn. But if TCU executes on offense and defense like they've been doing pretty much here lately, defensively they've been playing a little bit better, especially against Texas. I thought they were really, really solid. But if their defense shows up and play well, and hopefully they can get some of the guys who aren't healthy late in the season back, like the wide receiver, number one. I'm drawing a blank with Johnson, I think his name. If they can get him back healthy, then they'll have a much better chance moving forward. Because if they can just get through this week, unscathed, then they'll have a whole month to get everybody back, that's injured. So hopefully Max Duggan can put his name in the Heisman deal with his play, because he's already
he deserves to be in New York.
Oh yes,
yeah,
there. But hopefully he can, give himself a Heisman moment this weekend.
All right. Well, are we all going TCU?
No.
Uh-oh.
The upset. I'm gonna pick the upset just because, for one, I got root for my boy Deuce Vaughn. I ain't never met him, but I know his parents, know his daddy. And then I just kind of feel like the pressure might get to TCU.
I know.
They play so many close games, which they're not worried about that, but so much is going to be on the line for a program that hadn't been there. I kind of feel like the pressure might get to them. I hope not, because I would love to see Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson all miss the playoff. But I think Kansas State's going to pull off the upset.
Oh, my mind is telling me that it's going to be TCU, but my heart is telling me TCU is going to spit the bit. But I'm going TCU, even though I'm scared to death. Okay, Purdue, Michigan. I think I think this is going to be how much Michigan's going to win by.
Jeff Brom has a great record against top 5 teams.
I know.
He beats them all the time.
I know.
But he does not have his starting quarterback. And so I think it's either going to be Michigan close or Michigan blows them out, because while Purdue does beat top 5 teams, sometimes Purdue gets their head beat in sometimes. And so, because their defense is kind of suspect all the time. So I'm going Michigan.
Well, I'm going Michigan because they have a solid offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, they got the full. They
just beat Ohio State
to death.
That second half was brutal. It was brutal.
Because it's not like they were having these long drives.
No.
Hitting like 75, 85-yard touchdowns.
Vegas is saying Utah is going to win this game. What are we saying?
I'm saying the difference is Caleb Williams. I'm a big believer. I mean, y'all know, I'm a big believer that if you have a quarterback that can make plays like he's doing right now, that, I mean, it's a tough out when you give them the ball. So their defense knows that, and I think they work to try to get them the ball back as many opportunities, or give them as many opportunities. I know Utah is Utah, and they're going to play a certain way, but I just think Caleb Williams will be the difference.
I agree. We've been talking about the hot quarterbacks in the country, and Caleb Williams is as hot as anybody. And like I said, I think he pretty much stamped his Heisman trophy last week, but I think if he does it again this week, knocks out Utah, I think he solidifies his Heisman trophy, and I think USC is on to the playoffs.
It's his to lose. They're a 2.5-point underdog, but it's for sure his to lose.
Yep.
So, and by the way, they're going to be playing in the Raiders Stadium, which is nice situation for them. So, the SEC championship. Can LSU, a 2-loss LSU team, somehow find a way to beat Georgia? And by the way, I think if they pull this off, the Daniels kid, he stamps his ticket to the Heisman to New York. If they pull this off.
I can't see them pulling it off.
I can't see them pulling it off.
No, I mean, before last week, I gave him a shot, but after last week, I can't see it.
I thought the Daniels kid got hurt last week against Texas A&M.
He may have, but I don't think he's not scheduled to play. I think he is scheduled to play. I could be wrong, but
It looked like he hurt his ankle, and so unless I know the trainer over there, and he does have some magic in his toolbox. So they may do some magic tricks over there to get his ankle back right, so he can play in the championship game. But
they can't win without him. They have no shot to win without him.
Yeah, but even with him, I think Georgia's defense is stout enough to where it shouldn't really matter.
Yeah. And then our final game, of course, our ACC championship, Clemson and North Carolina. If ever there was a pick'em, this could be the they're both limping into it. Neither one looked particularly great. We've talked about North Carolina all season long, that they can score, they just can't stop anybody, and they have not let us down. My challenge is that Clemson lately doesn't seem to be able to stop anybody either. So
can't stop a nosebleed.
I think North Carolina's offense is better than South Carolina's offense. So,
and I wonder how motivated Clemson's going to be coming into this game. I mean,
I think
Coach won a conference championship, but
yeah, and that's still on the table. When you know the national championship's not there, you still got one of the goals still out there, which is ACC championship, which they'll proudly display as well. And I just think Clemson will be prepared and ready to play after that heartbreaking loss to their rival. Wasn't that at home?
Yeah. Home winning streak.
Killed the home winning streak. Killed a lot of stuff. It was a bad day.
So, I know they're going with DJ, which he wasn't very good in South Carolina. I didn't see the game, but just looking at his numbers, they weren't very good.
No, I saw the game. He wasn't. The numbers didn't lie. He was not very good. And I don't know why. It's
because they don't have confidence in the backup.
They don't have the confidence in the backup. Yeah.
If they had confidence in the backup, they would have been made that change, that switch. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they really have true confidence in the backup right now, like they did Trevor Lawrence, they're trying to say, which I think is going to be good, but I don't think he's at that level where he can take on the offense for a whole game.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually going North Carolina on this one. I just don't see
on this one too.
Yeah, I just don't see how they put the points up. And if North Carolina gets rolling, DJ doesn't strike me as the guy that can.
And Clemson's defense is not what Clemson's defense has been in the past. So you can't just lean on them and say, well, they'll be able to shut them down. Like Lloyd said, I think North Carolina's offense is better.
I'm going with Clemson. I don't know. I don't know why I'm going with Clemson.
Because Dabo's your boy. He's your boy.
Maybe that's the reason why, but I don't know. I can't trust either one of them.
No.
Right. Very true. Very true. No confidence in either team. Yeah. Very true. All right. Last question of the day. Who gets the Heisman invite? Who's your one person for sure gets the Heisman invite? Take Caleb Williams off the table. We know he's getting the invite no matter what. But who else deserves the invite?
I would say Blake Corum, Michigan.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up. I know everyone wants to throw a quarterback in there, but I think he's had a great season this year, and I think he deserves an invite.
And despite the loss to Michigan, I still think C.J. Stroud will be there.
Yeah, I mean, although he looked really bad in that game, he looked really bad. But I don't know if that was all his fault.
But I mean, it's one game.
Yeah, it's just one game. Yeah.
year.
Yeah. I honestly would love to see Hendon Hooker get it, but I don't know if he will. And the way that South Carolina game ended was so bad, that might have killed it for him. But I think he deserves to get one for his overall play. But I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds. But should Will Levis get it? I'm just curious since he's going to be the number one. I'll stop. That was
everybody. And we didn't mention him, but Max Duggan.
Max Duggan for sure should get it. He should get an invite.
I mean, he should be there for sure.
Yeah,
he's willed them to win.
Yeah,
all of their games.
Absolutely. All right. Well, gentlemen, this has been amazing. We had a full jam-packed day. We will see where this all unfolds. We'll come back next Thursday giving out our awards, our ACC awards. Although I have a funny feeling it's going to be a little more challenging this year than it has been in the past to give out these awards. But nevertheless, we will give out our awards next week. And we're excited about that. But that is Charlie Ward over there.
You gotta give our shout-outs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shout-outs. How did I forget shout-outs? Kendrick Haskins, who you shouting out today?
I'm sure you know my longtime buddy for over 20 years, but for 26 years to be exact, my sports director, Kent Taylor. His last day at BLEAV was yesterday. It was bittersweet. I mean, that's talk about somebody that you know for so long that they become family. He truly is family. I mean, literally, his daughter calls me Uncle Kendrick. And so it's tough to see him go. Him and his wife both worked at BLEAV for over 25 years, and they both have left within a month. And I'll still be in contact with him every day, but it's still different walking into work every day and you don't see those two faces. And so shout out to him, shout out to Connie, and shout out to Emerson. Love you guys, and congratulations and looking forward to his next endeavor.
Yep, if you know, you know. He's a local legend, and the work that he did was impeccable. So I will always be grateful for again the way he welcomed me personally into the journalistic community with open arms. I mean, with open arms. So he was always cool people. So and still is good. I'm not talking about him like he's gone forever. I mean, like you said, that also would give him more time to join us for BLEAV in the ACC. So maybe we can get him on.
I think I can pull some strings.
Yeah, I think that'd be great to see him on the show. So that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. So there you go.
We're hitting Top Golf next week. They finally opened one here.
Shout out to Top Golf for spreading their wings. Charlie, who you shouting out this week?
My Lady Seminoles soccer team made it to the College Cup once again. They play again on tomorrow, I believe, North Carolina.
Wow.
Tomorrow in the Final Four. So shout out to them for getting to the College Cup once again. Where last year, I think they won it. So
you know what? Now I'm subject to humble flex you for that one because you said you think they won. We all know they won it, Charlie. Yeah, I think I got.
And that was a Charlie Ward humble flex.
Because you know they won it. You know they won it.
I forgot who won it last year, but thanks for reminding me.
First of all, there's no way that Charlie Ward, who is all things Florida State, forgot what a Florida State accomplishment. You're not selling that here, buddy.
I think he needs another one.
I'm thinking, you're on the line, Charlie. You're in a dangerous place right now, okay?
Leader in.
No. Well, that's that's my one. And I shot my wife. She's taking on the job of coordinating the premiere showing that's coming up on Monday, and so shout out to her. She's the best event planner, very thorough and those types of things. So shout out to her for all the work that she's doing.
And plus, where can we see this again so everybody knows?
It's on the ACC network. 7
p.m. Is there a name for this thing? Does it have a name for it?
It's called Twice as Nice.
Twice as nice. Ooh.
I don't know how that came up, but it sounds good.
Well, how did it come up with twice as nice? What's the reference to?
I guess 2 sports twice.
I mean, that was my guess too, but I mean,
I was putting them 2 and 2 together, so like I said, it sounds nice.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be tuned in. I
don't care what the name of it is. It could just be Kyle Jr. and I'll watch it.
Yeah, I got the DVR set ready to go.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited to see what they unfold. I'm a little disappointed they didn't call us for the interviews, but that's fine. Maybe next year when they do the second one on you, Twice as Night, the sequel, whatever.
Life story.
There you go. I have 2 real quick one. One is shout out to our girl Dana Bushboom Kelly, who got the U of L women into the 2nd seed overall for the volleyball team for the 2nd year in a row. No, they had 1st seed. They had top seed last year, right?
Cross seed last year.
Yeah, so they're the 2nd seed, but they're number 1 seed in their obviously in their region or whatever. But let's see if they can bring it home this year. It's gonna be another tough one, but I
was at their viewing party on Sunday.
Where are you?
Where and of course, the show comes on, and of course they were the last bracket they showed, and they showed on and on. Message to the NCAA and ESPN, do it like the NCAA men's basketball where they announced the four seeds right off the top.
Right.
But no, they were great. The girls are great. I'm actually heading over there. Their first game's tomorrow, so I'll be over there tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, so shout out to them. We're big fans. By the way, I saw Coach Brooke some stuff she Instagrammed out. It was pretty inspirational. She's like she's having a good time over there with the Seminoles. So we like to shout out to people we've built a substantial relationship with here on this show. And then also shout out to the wife for buying me this lovely Notorious B.I.G. shirt. I am a huge fan of. She knows I'm a huge fan, and I love the shirt. I think it's uniquely made. Even if I wasn't a fan, I'd probably buy the shirt because I just think it's cool. So there you go. So shout out to the wife for taking care of me. And we actually had a real vacation. We didn't do much of anything, so it was really fun. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. We'll be back next week with, like I said, with the BLEAV in the ACC Awards. That is Charlie Ward. That is Kendrick Haskins. I am Lloyd Spence. I hope you have enjoyed yourself as much as we have enjoyed ourselves. We're going to enjoy ourselves regardless. That's just how it is. But I hope you enjoyed it as well. And we'll see you next week. You've been listening to BLEAV in the ACC with Charlie Ward, Lloyd Spence, and Kendrick Haskins. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share from the Noisemakers page on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and wherever podcasts can be heard. And join us next time on BLEAV in the